The top of the table clash for Group I is France vs Norway, and that is on Friday the 26th at Boston Stadium, and there is so much on the line for these two sides. It is not the World Cup qualifying that's on the line to the round of 32, but it is what position they will go through with. And that is always key, because if you get second, you are going to face a number one side or a second place side, and the top will always get the easier route through. So this is an important match for both France and Norway, and I think there will be some interesting battles within this match, and Norway do have a chance here. Senegal and Iraq are the other two sides in Group I, but these two sides are clear of them, with Senegal going down both to these two sides and Iraq going down to both these two sides. Well, so France have come off 2 back-to-back wins, which Norway have as well, but with 3 goals in both their games, France. So they've shown that they can put the ball in the back of the net, which is key when you look at any side trying to break down those sides that sit in the low blocks. While Norway, they beat Senegal 3-2, so a close match-up there, but they won out that game tactically and showed that they are not just here to play World Cup group stage, they are here to go far within this World Cup, and I think they can be dark horses within the knockouts. Now France, they are such a moment side. They know they've got these key players, world-class players within their side, and especially in that attacking area of the pitch, I can definitely see them producing some incredible moments this World Cup, and that's where they base their team from. They're quite a patient side, but they wait for those stars to make their moments. They're also strong with their movement up front. Now, the last 2 matches, there were questions about how these front players, Mbappe, Elise, Dembele and Barcola, who was in for Desiree Doué against Iraq, how they would connect within this World Cup, as they are all possibly wanting to be the stars of this French side. But what I've seen so far is great signs for France football, because they are really looking good together. And the movements that they are making, there are rotations here with Elise and Dembele and Mbappe coming back to do work, and it's really working for them. I don't know about Barcola at the moment. He had a good first game, but that second game he wasn't really involved heavily, or didn't really make a big impact to the game. But those other 3 are key for France. Their weaknesses, though, are at the back. So when they are defending, we can see that left back area. Digne, yes, he's a good player, but he's not world class. That's where they can get around them, and often when they do sit forward, they are vulnerable to counterattacks. But this is probably one of the strongest defences in the world. So it's something saying that their weakness is at the back here. Now, Norway, they are best at getting numbers on that transition, and obviously have Haaland there to finish off. So it's when they get that transition, they are so good getting Nusa, Haaland, Soloth and Odegaard forward, and they are dangerous. Those 4 players are really dangerous when they are attacking. They can create, they can finish, and they are the best executors in the world at finishing off, because they have a player of Erling Haaland's stature. Now the questions do come though when their defense is hugely less class than their attack, and that's just because they don't have the world class players that they do up front. But where they can get beaten is when they get stretched in defence, as that back four is sometimes quite vulnerable, and back fours are always going to be vulnerable to counter to fast overloads, and that's where they do get caught out when they are stretched, and that's where I think France can really get at them because of that width of their attack, the amount of players they can use to stress that defence from many areas. Now the key players for France are of course Mbappe and Elise, but there's so many more within that side. But that combination, Mbappe, Elise, I've talked about it a lot. But Elise and Mbappe are possibly two of the best in the world at the moment. And then you've also got Dembele, who is a Ballon d'Or winner from last year. So, but especially Elise and Mbappe, who Elise has the ability to put through some incredible passes and is so key to creating for France. And then Mbappe has the ability to finish at an incredibly high level. And that is what Norway have as well in Haaland. But they don't exactly have the defence to match France. Now, Odegaard is also going to be key for Norway. And we saw him, he hasn't had a very big season due to injury for Arsenal, but Odegaard, when he's fresh, is going to be key, and the chances he can create and moving forward, he is really a key player for Norway to get those opportunities and to be able to hold on to that ball high up field and allow them to execute on the opportunities. Now this matchup, I think France are going to control it, and that's I don't think Norway will be disappointed. Like they won't mind France controlling it and building. It's the only thing is the pressure they will create, as France are so good at creating opportunities and producing goals that they will nearly be unstoppable for any side. So I think they are going to be really tough for Norway, and I think both the fullbacks for France will be quite high, and that's where Norway could catch them out. As we saw, Digne was coming high, crossing, and Koundé was overlapping, and that's where they do get a lot of those extra overloads, but that can also be detrimental to France in defence side of things. And that's where I think Norway's wingers could cause an issue, as they're quite underrated compared to how the rest of the side looks, as I've got Haaland and Odegaard, but though Nusa and Soloth are going to be key within these matches. That's why I think if Norway's wingers are quality, play a quality match, and are able to get behind those fullbacks, I think they can get a good result from this game. And that is why I have predicted that France are going to draw to Norway 2-2.